Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I'm just setting up my stuff, get my son situated. But I wanted to do our daily live here now because the Fed minutes were released. Just give me 1 second to get this set up. Welcome in, Trading with J-Rod, Axis, Humanity Wins. Make sure to hit that like button as I'm setting this up, and please share this far and wide on social media as this is our daily live. I'll be doing it for 20 to 25 minutes on a daily basis. It's something that I actually look very forward to now, as I think it's going to be a way for us to get closer as a community. And I actually look very much forward to it. I want to send this into my, I guess some people got mad because I did not put this in my Telegram before I went on last time, which in hindsight, maybe I should have done that since, they're part of the community in Tom's Army. So I'm just doing that real quickly, and then we'll get going here. So if you're tuning in, I really appreciate it. I'm not going to look to see how many people are in here today. I'm just going to go through and do what I got to do, and then we will talk as a group. So first things first, I just shared this, so if anybody wants to, I guess I should share the link with them as well. There, okay, all set. I apologize for the short delay. Welcome in. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. It's 2:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. And we had the Fed minutes release here. Let me do this real quick so I can see if anybody's saying anything. Wow, Joshua, welcome in. Hey, Tom, it's kind of difficult to hear you. Oh, what the hell? I think we can fix that. Okay, everybody. Is that better? I apologize. Everybody, is that better? I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's better. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it was I forgot on YouTube you have to hit a button, so I did it off my phone. I have to enable something. It's part of the stupid thing. Thank you everybody so much for letting me know, because without your help I would have never known that, and then this would have sounded like crap. 32 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button, and we're going to get into this. I just want to say, welcome in Soul Sanctuary from the Netherlands. Welcome in Trading with J-Rod, Axis, Humanity Wins. Joshua, Scott, Soul Sanctuary, Jason, Devin. Welcome in, welcome in. So real quickly before we get into the charts and see what's going on in the markets as it's dumping, or it was today, the Fed minutes were released. And just a few notes that I noticed. Additional policy firming may be appropriate at further meetings. Inflation progress is not acceptable of yet. Credit tightening may signify slow business and consumer spending. Fed should be ready to mitigate further monetary and financial risks. And then there was a little bit more in detail. I wanted to read this. Things are going well, McNamara. I appreciate you tuning in. Jason, welcome in from Boston. Wow, there's a lot more people commenting today. I really appreciate that. In discussing the policy outlook, participants generally agreed that in light of the lagged efforts of cumulative tightening in monetary policy and the potential effects on the economy of a further tightening in credit conditions, the extent to which additional increases in the target range may be appropriate after this meeting had become less certain. Participants agreed that it would be important to closely monitor incoming information and access the implications of monetary policy in determining the extent to which additional policy firming may be appropriate to return inflation to 2% over time, which that's never going to happen, let's be honest. They will never bring it back down to 2%. That's absurd to even be talking about that. We're not even at the appropriate inflation rate yet. We're still underwater. So how they can even put that in a sentence, it always mind boggles me. I don't believe in our lifetime we'll ever get back to 2%, and I'm 39. Various participants noted specific factors that should bear on future decisions on policy actions. One such factor was the degree and timing with which cumulative policy tightening restrained economic activity and reduced inflation, with some participants commenting after they saw evidence that the past year's tightening was beginning to have its intended effect. Time to nibble some more. Yes, Rizzo. It's getting into those areas again. Joshua, I appreciate you tuning in before your work shift. And Humanity, thanks for the update on the sound. I appreciate that. Everybody tuning in, make sure you hit that like button, as I'm not going to look to see how many people just going to comment based on everybody commenting to me, as I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Another factor was the degree to which tighter credit conditions for households and businesses resulting from events in the banking sector would weigh on activity and reduce inflation, which participants agreed was very uncertain. Additional factors included the progress toward returning inflation to the committee's longer run goal of 2%. There's that dirty, dark word that'll never happen. And the pace at which labor market conditions softened and economic growth slowed. So, I mean, honestly, a bunch of mumbo jumbo is what it sounds like to me. Welcome in from South Africa, Kyle. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button as I hit the button, and we have 24 likes, 42 people watching. Make sure you hit that like button. It does help. So, I mean, that's what came out in the Fed minutes. That's the most important part of the Fed minutes, at least. I mean, I can go back into the Fed minutes, and we can see if we can get any more finer, minute details, but these were the early goings that came out. It's really hard, though, to find a June pause. Okay, so here's U.S. News. Let's see what they're saying. June pause and rate hikes would be a close call. Fed officials' minutes of last meeting show. Darren, welcome in. What's going on, my friend? Hey, you're right on time. I've only been here 5 or 6 minutes. So it says Federal Reserve officials were divided earlier this month on whether to pause their interest rate hikes at their upcoming meeting in June. Oh, what the fuck is this? Oh, this just came out. They're really talking about from May 2nd to 3rd. Several noted if the economic, who cares? We already know about that. We want to know what's happening right now. Well, that's a bit deceiving. Let's see. We've already basically covered the gist, so I want to get into the chart real quick. But Fed minutes in one tweet. The economy is slowing, but inflation is still way too high. We don't know what we'll do next, but we're leaning toward keeping rates high for a while. Please fix the debt ceiling, Congress, basically. So that's essentially what's going on here, folks. They need to raise the debt ceiling, but it would be a disaster. We don't actually want them to raise the debt ceiling. That's the dirty, dark secret. Is anybody up to date on the debt ceiling? Are we understanding what's going on? Because if you are rooting for them to raise the debt ceiling, it's a disaster. That means they're printing more money. I used this analogy before, and I'll do it while I'm live, because a lot of people liked it in the update. So basically, if you have a credit card, this is the country's credit card, but we'll say it's in the name of Tom Spica. I have a $10,000 credit limit. I got to pay my rent, got to pay for my food, got to pay all the house bills, everything. Well, I run out of money. I go to the bank. I'm like, hey, I need you to raise my credit limit to $20,000. They go, oh, Mr. Spica, that's fantastic. We'll raise it to $20,000. Plus, they raise my credit limit. They get to, print more money. Inflation goes around. Well, I keep going back, and I'm paying my bills, but now I've not only incurred more debt, now I've got to pay the interest rates. I haven't earned any more money, and yet I'm just pushing it off month to month. Well, now all of a sudden I go in, let's say, the 76th time, and they say, Mr. Spica, we got no more money for you. You're done. That's it. Well, now what am I going to do with my bills? I can't pay them, and now I've got all this added inflation. Well, that's exactly what happens. I lose my house. They send me a big bill, and I probably have to file bankruptcy, and I go live on the street. Well, the government, it's the same thing. What happened the very first time they raised the debt ceiling? That was the very first time we didn't pay our bills in this country. They always say, we're dead set on paying our bills. No, we're not. If we were going to pay our bills, we would have never raised the debt ceiling because we had to take out a loan and then pay more interest. How stupid is it? They want us to raise the debt ceiling right now and print more money as we're raising interest rates. I don't know about any of you, but any of you ever go into the bank and say, I need $1,000, but I need you to raise interest rates first before you give me the money? It's the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard. 25,000 or 20K, but does that make sense to anybody? That's what's going on with our debt ceiling right now. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Um, so as you can see, the DXY, it seems like we're going to be coming down, but we'll go over the charts here. We'll go over the charts. The DXY right now, as we talked about the inverted head and shoulders quite some time ago, if you're part of the community, and it's rounded out perfectly. Now the question is can we hold 103 spot 674 and move up to that 105.30? That's what I'm waiting to see. And it looks like we have a nice rounding of the bottom, a nice double bottom there. It looks like an inverted head, left shoulder, right shoulder form. I mean, could it be coming up to finish this farther out of the pattern? I mean, that's what it looks like in the 2 hour. But if we go into crypto, total crypto market cap's in a dangerous level. Although, you probably are wondering by my headline why I said, is there a more sinister plot at play? The reason I say that is if you look in the daily time frame, we're stuck on the daily. We have to break the 200-day right here, 1.06, but ultimately 1.04 for this pattern to break. But if we were to come back up and they do manipulate this and print some money, which I don't know if they're going to pass the debt ceiling today. They met, but nothing really happened. I don't know. But if they do raise the debt ceiling, I have a very strange suspicion. Something weird is going on here. Because if they raise the debt ceiling, somehow, some way, they're going to inflate the markets. And we got to be careful here. I'm not saying it's going to go up. What I am saying, though, if you're shorting the market, just be very careful. I'm more of we don't need to short the market because we've been buying, or we can buy when it gets to our chosen levels, and we were out of the market for the 80% drop in XRP. So I'm under the impression we don't need to short the market. We're gaining more money by buying XRP in our favorite cryptos as we're in the bear market. Now, what I will say, and this has caught my attention, and I've talked about this a lot. If you were in the live yesterday, we talked about it as well. And we'll go into Bitcoin to show the same thing. It's possible that we may have created a reversal pattern here. And now if it does come up, it can even come down to here, though. Pay attention. This can come down to 944 and then bounce up still and possibly hit that, I would say, around the 1.327 trillion. But if this is some kind of bottoming pattern, we are probably going to have to pay the piper and come up one more level. That's the pattern formation up to the top. So if we look on that at Bitcoin, that's the urgency of doing this during the day and getting your feedback if you have any questions as well. We're going to go into Bitcoin, look at XRP. We got about 8 to 10 minutes left here. So if you have any questions, I encourage you and pay attention because I'm going to be coming on around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. That's the time I've chosen. I just think it's a better time. So anywhere between 2 and 2:15, you can expect me to do the live. Just depends how much setting up I have to do. Bitcoin, 26,233. Yeah, I'll go into that right now for you, Prosperity Fund. It's a perfect area you're talking about. For Bitcoin, let's wait for this to load real quick. And I have it in the daily, but it might be a little harder for everybody to read. But right now, here's the essentials here. Let me put this, Let me put this into a lower time frame, just so it's easier to see. We'll put it in the 2 hour. Basically what happened here, we fell out of this channel. Just in game. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Sounds about right. The channel, though, Bitcoin broke, and we basically need to get back over 27,860. If we failed and got a rejection here, that would signal a 9% drop down to 25,194. That's what we've been waiting for. That's why I circled there. We had a bearish cross in the daily time frame, and now the only way to invalidate that is to get back over that channel and push 30,000. Otherwise, this is all but confirmed a breakdown to 25,194. Andy, yes indeed. Yes indeed. Mark, I'll see you in Neverland, apparently. Let's see. In the 4 hour time frame, Bitcoin looks terrible. In the daily time frame, I know it looks even worse because we've had the bearish cross, which we talked about to start the weekend. And now it's not looking good. We've gotten 1, 2, 3. Here, let's mark this. And after a while, by enough rejections, you're not coming back up. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 6 rejections right there, right in a row. And we can't get over the 20-day in the daily, and that's a high time frame. So that's very devastating. That's a very devastating push. So It looks like to me all things are pointing coming down to retest that 200 day right around the 25,194. And if that cracks, that's when the fun starts. I mean, that's when the real fun starts. There's not much support underneath there at all. But as I said, the one thing that I am cautious in my head of what's going on here, a more nefarious plan or a more sinister plot by Bitcoin and the market manipulators. Look at this. In a typical bear market rally and or a short covering, typically we would have had a much bigger rise than we've had. So that is one thing that I'm being ultimately cautious on. I need to get a cold water. Hold on. Hold that thought. So what I'm seeing here on Bitcoin, what if they have a more sinister plan? Because on a typical bear market rally with short coverings, typically we would come up a little higher than we did. Like I marked it out here. Let me go to my other chart. I marked it out where it should have come up to. And I'm not saying that it can't still break down. No, I'm not. And yes, we're still in a bear market. So everybody who gets, we're still in a bear market. But what I'm saying is the way this pattern is set up now, see how this is set up. I thought that we would have to come up just a tiny bit higher and at least push that 32,800. But let's go back to the other chart. It never came down, as you've seen. And now our technical target is to come down to 25,194 if we get a rejection at 28,850. But look what's happening here. Look what's happening under the radar. So let me pull out the brush again, the drawing tool. We've got a W formation that looks like it could have formed, but I'm not even paying attention to the W formation. Look at the structure that formed. Bam. Shoulder. Into the head. Back up to another form of what is this? The elbow. Back into the shoulder, maybe the hand. But now, if it needs to finish, this is going to end up coming all the way up here if it finishes. And how you know? All it has to do is hold that area at 25,194. That's what I'm saying. This drop might not even happened yet, and it's the shakeout. That looks as a hell of a lot to me like a W reversal and a bottoming pattern. Not in the grand scheme, but as far as pushing up on this inversion. That looks like an inverted head and shoulders. It really does. Anybody care to comment? Wow, there's 57 people in here. I'll be damned. Make sure you hit that like button. There are only 38 likes. I don't ask for much. But maybe one day we'll have more people who are watching me in Tom's Army. There's one person watching me right now in Tom's Army. That's okay, though. That's okay. Let's see. What do you think about Brad Garlinghouse in Vegas? And Andy, I appreciate you being in Tom's Army. I appreciate it. Mr. Mack, I appreciate that as well. You're part of Tom's Army, and you've been since the beginning. That's the oldest emoji you can have. That's over 1 year. Appreciate that. Kyle, what do I think about Brad Garlinghouse in Vegas with all the fake influencers? I mean, they definitely have an event. Definitely have an event, so we'll see what happens there. Darren, I appreciate that. You've got the 1 year badge as well, but I know you've been since the beginning. There's a few people. I like that there's a few people in here, part of Tom's Army. See? Showing out the support. Nice and proud. 2,000 up today. What do you mean? Bitcoin's going to go up 2,000 today? It should, yes, that should have been a sell signal. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. There could be a more sinister plot here. I mean, it looks like it. It looks like everybody's being tricked into, I mean, it really does. That looks like an inverted head and shoulders. That should, I mean, just logically, that should bring us up. But you don't know if we can come down to 25,194 as we came down here on this side. We do like to do things evenly, but you can see this tightening pattern that is designed possibly as a head and shoulders. I've seen these too often. This looks like an inverted head and shoulders. But if it does break down, we know our targets. We already know if it breaks 25,194, this will be invalidated. Well, 25,000, they'll get you caught with your pants down, and it just comes down another 194. You break 25,000, this inverted head and shoulders is all but invalidated. Yes, You could have the overextension of the century, and then it comes up, but there's gaps to be filled, so we have to wait and see. It very well could be, Chris. That's what happens if we lose 25,000. No. Prosperity, don't get it twisted what I'm saying. We have to see if we hold 25,194 on a dump to see if that can play out to 30,000. Otherwise, there's a lot that can happen below. We could still come all the way down here. I mean, if you want to talk about this reversal, they could bend us over and come all the way down. Where's it at? Right about here at 17,500, then swing it back up. And that's not a joke. And then look what the wider pattern would be. You'd come down, around, back up and around. That could give you the real inverted head. You know, so the Fed rate hikes in a couple weeks. What is it? I think June 3rd. Somewhere around June 3rd is the next rate hike, I believe. No. June. Hold on. I can find that out very easily. Next rate hike. Yeah, it's in June. I know it's beginning of June. Sometime in June. If anybody knows, I don't want to waste all the time trying to find it. But, wow, 65 people in here. That's definitely, we've doubled our viewing audience from yesterday. You're back. Yep. June 4th, Darren, thank you very much. I knew it was around that June 3rd area. Now, we need to look at XRP real quick. This is getting a little long. You know, a little long in the tooth here. But as you can see with the XRP pattern, we're at 4497, down 3.35%. And again, XRP's already essentially formed what we've been talking about. We really have. And on the breakout point, look at the breakout on XRP. And it's, I know I write a lot. I know, and it's in the daily, so, you know, it's a lot more it looks like. But look at the way this retested here. That very well could form, like I talked about with Bitcoin and the total crypto market cap. There could be a more sinister plot here. Can I see 20 to 25K? I could. I appreciate that, Mark. Appreciate that. And yeah, do like Mark and hit that like button. 20 to 25K, it's definitely in the cards. Even if it bounces up, Prosperity, even if it bounces up, I don't think the lower lows are in by a long shot. I don't think we've met our lower lows. I'm just saying we could have a higher rally with short coverings if it goes that route. And we can't rule out the fact that this could be a well-disguised bull flag here with XRP. We're looking to see if before the close, XRP can stay above 45.27 in the daily. That's what I'm doing today. That's all that matters to me. Will XRP close below 4527? Or, well, 453 we'll call it. Or will it get back above 46 cents? Or if we end up closing below that, can we run down before the daily close to 4373 and close below that and signal a very bearish end of the day? I don't think that's the case. I think we have I think something bad's happening. I do. I think a lot of people, if you're leverage trading this market, you're in some trouble. It doesn't matter if you're long or short in the market. I firmly believe in these kind of times, we didn't wait a year to buy XRP for no reason. We bought it for these moments when we could do it in the bear market. Yes, right now it's over where I buy it. I'm not buying it over 40 cents. I had a chance under 30. I had a lot of chances under 40. And now my next chance to take advantage of it, it's got to get below my buy average. And that's below the mid 30s. So I'm not going to be able to buy it for a while, but I don't buy it over sub 40 cents or higher than 40 cents, period. And this newfound way that we've been doing it. And yeah, the first time around before the bull run in 2021, I would buy it up to $1. I had a 47-cent average. But I was waiting for the run. This one's different. This is really different. And right now, if this isn't M-topping reversal, you know, we've got to pay the piper here. But we got to pay attention, though, because if this does hold, it's like it's such a kick in the nuts here because it looks like it wants to drop. Everybody and their mother is going to say it's going to drop. All the indicators will probably say it's going to drop. The only thing that doesn't pass the eye test is the fact we broke out of this structure. Here, let me get my drawing tool, and then we got to end this. We broke out of this structure, and we never broke it. We never broke back in. Look at this. We came through, came up, did the perfect retest like you were supposed to. That is a perfect, that's a technical signal when you hold that target. Now, could this be a bear trap is what I'm saying. Ultimately, is this a bear trap? that gets us back up into this range or just finishes off this pattern. But if you're asking me, something don't smell right here. And yes, I said before we could come down to 4-3-2 and still hold this formation. So it doesn't, unless we break back into this formation and break down, then if we get back in there, then we can be like, all right, we have some symmetry here. Now we're back over 45 cents. But look, we would have some symmetry if it broke down farther, which we haven't done. And I think a lot of people are about to get the wool pulled over them. If you want to show some support, simply join Tom's Army. You can send a super chat, you can send a donation, or just hit the like button. That's a donation. When you hit the like button, that's a donation. When you put your time in and you watch, that's a donation. You're donating your time. That's the most important thing of all. It doesn't just have to be a financial contribution. You can hit the share button. Isn't that something? You can hit the share button and share it to social media and get one other person in here. That's big. That's worth more than money. The more people in here, the bigger this audience gets. What's up, Mike? Long time, long time. I seen a few other comments, but I'll get to those in a sec. Because I got to end this. This is really going over. It's been 26 minutes. We've got this downtrending resistance. But if we break back in, so what we talked about with the 413 and the 40 cents, getting back into that descending triangle or the symmetrical triangle, as I'll call it both, since a lot of people don't know how to distinguish them. So I just call them both now. Make everybody happy. But once we get into that formation, that would be a broken structure, broke back in. And if you start breaking that, then you start to do this 2021 uptrend. And if we break back below the 2021 uptrend, that's when we have a 45% drop possibility. Then and only then, though, you have to break down into the proper areas. That 39.96% moves or 69% move was already fulfilled. That was put up there before the move. And it fulfilled it. It went a little bit higher than I thought. But now we would have to break out of these structures. And look, we also have another possible breakout attempt here as well. That's why this is a very, very, very tricky part of the pattern. And you don't want to short the market till the appropriate time. That's why, to me, I will not short this market until we get rejected by that point, and then 45% is good enough for me. Other than that, I can long the market if you wanted to, if XRP breaks out of here and holds, because then we got to come up to a new level. That's why these levels are so important, because that would verify the inverted head and shoulders breakout. It's so tricky. You see how they're designing this. And then you break the 2019, you got the 2015 down here. Or the 2017 here, 2013 here. Up here's the 2021. So when some people are like it's going up or down or sideways, yes, correct. But do you know which way means what? Do you know which part of the pattern breaks can get you to the next spot? I believe bulls and bears are going to get wrecked here. I do. But in the grand scheme, bulls are going to get hammered. It's just in the short term, do they take out the rest of the bears in the short term? Because nobody wants to dump the market 50% and have a bunch of people shorting the market. I've learned that in my time watching the market. Well, on this on XLM, since I had a question. Yeah, XLM's doing the exact same thing. Does this SEC lawsuit change things when doing TA? No. Not really. The only way it changes things is if you get a settlement or XRP wins the case, which the rumblings are is XRP might have to pay as little as a $250,000 fine and acknowledge they were doing a unregistered security, but they basically pay a fine and then it gets corrected. If it's only $250,000, exactly, Mark, show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Could you imagine $250,000? It costs them so much more. Crypto Solo Scrooge, welcome in. Yeah, exactly. Show the charts. I show the charts and I know what's going to happen. I can tell you what the news is going to say. Just like the Fed minutes. It didn't tell us anything we don't know. And XLM, if it continues to break down, that 8 cents is going to have to happen. We've already had a death cross in the daily. So yeah, XLM looks like ass, if you're being honest. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. I made Julie laugh, so hopefully somebody else did. Tanya, what's going on? We don't know what's going on is the bottom line. We don't know if they're trying to trap the Bears or the Bulls, but what I've shown, you're going to have to watch from the beginning because this has been a very interesting update. As I've shown, even the XLM is showing a possible breakout, but then it comes right back down. So we'll see. We'll see, but XLM is going to do exactly what XRP does. Exactly what XRP does. You don't even really have to worry about it. It's going to do just that death cross that's devastating. You don't want death crosses in the daily. That's not good. Huge potential from the top, but we broke back down. And we said if we break out and up, huge potential. If we break down, remember we pointed at this area if you're part of the community, and then it broke down. So, yeah, Craig, that's all I know. I was just at the gym too, Tanya. Look at that. Somebody else is going to the gym, Julie, see? That's fascinating. I just did my 110th workout today. Yes, I know. I started 2 weeks before Halloween. Hey, it's all right, Crypto Scrooge. We're all high. Some of us are high on life. Some of us are high on the old cannabis. Some of us are high on nefarious things that we don't like to talk about and you shouldn't be doing. Because after all, the marijuana plant is all you need. You know, well, I'm not going to get into politics here because then they'll ban me. I was going to be bad. I'm not going to be bad. These are lives about crypto and the Fed minutes. So, what does everybody think? What does everybody think? Because I'm going to relax with each and every one of you. And then I'm going to start making some dinner. Well, I'm going to order dinner. It's a pizza kind of day today. It is all a gamble right now, Chris. 100%. It is all a part of the plan, 100%. I can't agree more with all of you. And if you're new, even if you don't want to join Tom's Army, hit that subscribe button. That's all I ask. Hit the subscribe button. Join me on a future update. Join me tomorrow on these lives. Today's an even longer live. You know, once I get into the rhythm and I do these day after day, you see there's no symmetry. I'm not coming on here to do the charts. I'm coming here to talk, shoot the shit. And if anybody wants to join, you are more than welcome. That's it. You know, I'm not looking for financial compensation. If you want to send something in the future, that's on you, but that's not why I want you here. I want you here because we all need to learn. And a lot of people are like, oh, join my classes, join my class. No, just watch the live. I don't even make you have to be part of Tom's Army to comment anymore. Just if you want to contribute, you contribute. Contributing can be commenting. So the other things that I'm paying attention to as well, we're going to look at H-bar here because if you're paying attention to FOMO Fridays. We started last week. We made our first $50 purchase of H-bar. We got 1,000 tokens. This weekend, this Friday, we should be able to get about 6.2% more from where we bought it last week. And just at $50 a week, I'm going to show you through the bear market how we do this properly. And with H-bar, since it is towards the formation low still, you know, it could come down a lot still down here. But from where it was at the top, a lot of people hadn't been buying anything. So I thought this was a perfect way to start. And a lot of people love H-bar who voted on it. But H-bar, as I said, we want it to come down here first and retest here so that every Friday we can buy and see the difference. So last Friday, $50 got us 1,000 tokens. What can 50 get us on this FOMO Friday? I would like to see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If the debt ceiling isn't raised, everything goes down. You'd be looking at the stock market at minimum 45 to 50% drop. Minimum. If you buy today, Crypto Scrooge, you have to save $50 for FOMO Fridays. FOMO Fridays will catch on. About 550 people watched FOMO Fridays last Friday, and I'm telling you, it's going to catch on, just like these lives are going to catch on. Yesterday, we had 36 people watching. Today, we've got 69. I firmly believe as a community, this is going to grow, and we're going to get bigger. And we're going to get better. Positivity over negativity. So, the focus, thank you for 1 year, plus 1 year as a member of Tom's Army. Is it possible to do an... Yes. Yes, but if they do a minimal bill, see, somebody understands. So did anybody understand when I did my credit card thing and I said 78 times I went to ask for a loan? Somebody understands, Mr. Honcho, you understand my analogy, even if you weren't here to listen to it. I firmly said that in my analogy. Wait a minute, what did somebody say about XRP? I'm going to have to get my phone out. And then I got to go because this is one way too long. And no, I'm not. I love the lives. I do. I got other things to do. A lot of things to do. I'm going to have to get my phone. So, Tom doesn't sell XRP at a loss. He doesn't advise you to sell it to buy cheaper, and he doesn't pay. Yes, exactly, Mark. That's it. I'm not. Everybody who says they're going to sell XRP, that's not what I'm telling you to do. I simply am not buying it under 40 cents or over 40 cents on this cycle because I believe our lowest lows aren't in. But I'm not going to sell it. Anything I needed to sell was done at 58 cents or 50 cents. Anything I needed to sell was the first time when it ran from 28 to 45, then came back down to 30. It's called the double bottom, folks. That's why the second time around, I was more involved in telling you to buy at 35. But if you choose to stay on the sideline, that's what happens. We still are going to have more. You, The Rock, appreciate the teaching because there are absolutely learning curves, and that's why I'm deciding to do a live every day. So, in conclusion, H-bar, in order to ruin this bearish bias, and you can see how the daily is kind of lined up here with maybe a recovery. If it got broader support, we need to come up here and get a validation of 578 rejection. That's why before any kind of break of this level, even if it comes down and then bounces up, you're going to have to get a rejection of this channel. I firmly believe that, and I have this pattern so dissected that, I know what's going to happen level to level. Just follow it. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this update, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the bell notification so you can get all future lives and my update that comes out tonight. I've already done one in the morning, a short, late morning, and now we're doing this live mid-afternoons. And at night, I'll be doing another update. And it's just what I like. Also, if you're looking for a way to trade crypto, XRP, video description below and or pinned comments. You can trade no spot fees on the buy and sell, and you can future trade up to 250x while you're shorting. I'm not getting paid to tell you this. These are the platforms I use, Mexi and or BitGet. And if you want to show support, that's in the video description as well. You can join Tom's Army, send XRP, which I don't know why you would do that, but you could. You could donate by a Cash App or hit the super chat. But most of all, just hit that like button. Olga, welcome in. I really appreciate you tuning in. I'm saddened that you joined at the end. Sue, welcome in. The Focus, June 14th. God bless everybody. 60 seconds. Manarino thinks we're going to pause. It's tough. That's tough. I'd say we've got about... If the debt ceiling isn't raised, I'd say there's a 75% chance we pause. If the debt ceiling's raised, I find it very hard to believe that we're going to stop raising rates when they print more money. That's just the way I see it. So I think it's 50-50 at this point. Do I think they're going to do 50 or more? That's very unlikely, but I could see another 25. As the language is a little strong today, but we'll see how they spin it in early June. Stay blessed, everybody, and I cannot thank everybody enough for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.